can't dame pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she wanted like me cause her like she can count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit her max, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the London Black Knights and the Orlando Wizards. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This will be taken short. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
Check. Check. Hot. Hey, alert.
They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Vita Vea, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Check. Check. 55 to Mike. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Dante Fowler in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Greystone, travel. Check 3, check 3.
They do go for it. Here's Allen. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, we thought these 2 defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's pile this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
Check. 380. Check 50, check 50. Check. Easy. Check.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Play action. It's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
First down and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You ain't going nowhere.
Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Let them know, let them know.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Malik Jackson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now another timeout called for by the offense, and that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Allen now looks to throw. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Orlando with the football here to begin the second quarter, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Going for it on 4th down. Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now Wilson running left on the option. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Let's go, let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They go read option with Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Let's go one more.
Now Gordon on first down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Mike, 280. 59. You must be getting tired of seeing me. No. Bang out. 59. Go. 59. I'm here all.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And it's caught. Touchdown. T.J. Jones. His third touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You want to.
You know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
In your face.
He'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He lets it fly for Lockett. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown! Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
They'll take over. First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. Now they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Allen will try again on second down. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Marcus Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Gostkowski the extra point, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Wilson, buying time to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Let's go, let's go. Go right, go right. Hey, they're scared, they're scared.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Seven yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Allen. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
35 to Mike.
On 2nd and 1, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, but frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Hey, 0.
They go read option with Wilson. He may try and run for this. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Looking deep for Adams. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Mike 35.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He lets it fly for Lockett. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change it.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17, as we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 10 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run again with Logan. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us what...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Everson Griffin able to record his 5th sack of the season.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Allen. This will be caught by Brown. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. They're going to try and throw. It's complete to Grant. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. On 1st, here's Washington. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On 2nd and 9, Allen. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
I got you, son. I got you, son. Chuck Missy.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Welcome back live to Orlando as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Welcome back live to Orlando. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. On third down, Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. And now here is another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. On play action, Allen. He'll buy some time right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nate Gary. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll run on first down. Gordon. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 31 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Running right. It's a handoff to Gordon. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Got him in. It's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Now Allen. Man open left side is Brown. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Allen off the play fake. Flush to his right. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He finds his man Johnson. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition. Allen hit. He lost the football. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To the air, Allen. That's to his running back, complete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, possession switches hands. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He finds an opening past the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't they?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. So for our visitors, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the home team here, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.